Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to muckrake! Episode 64. I'm Pete.
Let's get it on!
Wait, hold on.
I'm Pat.
I'm not Pete. I'm Captain Pete.
I forgot about that. No, I was Captain Pat.
No, you were Dr. Paddington.
I was Captain Pat for a time there because I kept thinking of One Piece every time you said that. I'm like, yeah, I'm on a cruise.
Wait, hold on. I'm Sir Pete, and
I'm Captain Pat.
we're those muckrakers. This is episode 64. What an interesting week it has been.
Now, the thing is that I usually like to take detailed notes of the week, but I knew that the Mueller report was supposed to be coming out this week. It was going to be Tuesday, then they kicked it to Thursday, and it had me worrying for a while, because I deliberately was not taking notes, because I knew that no matter what I found, it would just be overwhelmed by the report coming out. Sure enough, come Thursday, the report dropped, and things have been happening since then.
It's 400 pages, and there's still parts of it that are redacted. So my argument is just let everyone wait. Let's read the report. There's some pretty the bits that I have.
All kinds of juicy tidbits here, there, and everywhere. People are extracting already. I've read good excerpts. But yeah, as far as redactions go, 1/3 of the pages has at least one redaction on it. Some entire pages are completely blotched out.
Which is weird for a redaction, right? Where there's the whole page is black. You're like, that's odd.
Yeah. Redactions are supposed to be there to cover up specific names and places and whatever, just to make sure that certain investigations aren't interfered with that are still going on. Specifically, they've cited the ongoing Roger Stone case.
Uh-huh.
But it's but. Overall, there's a lot more of it revealed than I thought they would reveal.
They redact like those kids in. Well, I think they revealed more because they're lazy and it's 400 pages.
That absolutely could be it. Knowing Trump's people, because I heard something recently that I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Was one person was saying that the most disturbing story about Trump they ever heard was that he had never used a real lawyer before, because he was sitting in a room and he was making fun of a lawyer that was in there. He's like, what are you doing? You're taking all these notes. You're just scratching away like a little squirrel, scratchy. And the guy's like, sir, lawyers take notes. And he's like, oh yeah, well, I've had so many lawyers in my life and none of them take notes. And he's like, yeah, well, sir, I'm a real lawyer and we like to take notes about what's going on. And he had to be explained how lawyers work. After he's president, he didn't even know how lawyers work.
He's like a 80s cartoon bully that's been pulled into our time. You know, what are you taking notes for, you nerd? I'm gonna come push you over. And he's like, sir, that would be assault, and I would have you arrested. What's assault? I've never heard of assault before.
You mean like what you pour on steak, salt? But not only is he literally an 80s villain, 80s villains are largely based on him, like Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Yeah. Robert Zemeckis tried to show us with Back to the Future what would happen if we elected Trump. And what did we do? We went ahead and elected Trump, except there is no time machine.
Yeah, it's fuck. What was the team that had never won a playoff until 2016?
Oh, you're talking about the I believe was it the Sox? The
Red Sox
or the Cubs? I can't remember.
Cubs, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
the future's coming true.
There were two different timelines in Back to the Future. One where that team won, and the other one where Biff Tannen was president. And they're saying, those are two different timelines, and it can't both happen. And since so and so won the sports ball game, Biff Tannen can't be president. And we're like, no, all the timelines are colliding. It's the end of the universe. All of these time waves are being twisted together. It's all happening, people. Run for your lives, Marty. We got to get back to the future.
Well, if that makes you feel better, I got a wonderful news story outside Toronto.
Hell yeah.
This by the way, I feel bad for the person involved in this, but it's a pretty fucking metal story. I like the headline. It says, "She opened the door to a delivery man. He then shot her with a crossbow."
Yeah, that was awful till I heard with a crossbow. And I'm like, yeah.
So I guess this guy in Toronto rolled up to this house with a big cardboard box, and he had the crossbow either in the box or under it or whatever. This lady answers the door, of course, and he was like, "Bam!" Crossbow.
Do you remember in Terminator 2 when Arnold walks into the place and he has like the big box of flowers, which just drops away to reveal a shotgun?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of just makes me think of that. Flowers. What? Bam!
Except that
Oh!
at least he was.
Was her name Sarah Connor?
Yeah. No, her. I don't know what her name was. But here's the problem, though. He didn't kill her. He just shot her with one crossbow arrow, and I guess was like, oh, and ran away.
What, like a little gremlin or something? Like, and
Well,
then takes off?
Yeah, well, it was also apparently it was a hit. Somebody paid this guy to kill her.
I hope he didn't pay much.
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
Well, it's like you got the drop on her. Like, why?
She's already injured. Why didn't he finish the job? It couldn't have been that hard.
I know, and I feel bad that I'm rooting for the. I'm not rooting for the assassin because I guess she's.
I'm questioning the assassin.
Yeah,
like, is he like old Gil? Like, oh no, old Gil's not. Old Gil can't afford a second arrow. I've got a down payment on a house to make. Oh, he has to run off.
I don't think most people have seen as much blood as we have in our lives.
Yeah.
And I
assume.
assume.
So he just saw blood and was like, "Ew, it's gross. It's coming out."
So I operate as a hitman by vampire rules, and that like it's not over till you take the victim's head and bring it back to whoever ordered you, to do the hit.
Yeah. What's in the box? Five Guy burgers and fries. Oh no, this is the head box. Hold on. Where's the burgers? Here we go.
But yeah, just I don't know, man. Just if you're gonna be hired for a job, just make sure that it's you did it. That like
Give it the old double tap. Make sure you finish what you start.
Or at the very least,
it's like if you hit a deer with your car, but the deer is a lady and your car is a bow and arrow or a crossbow. Like mercy kill at that point. Come on, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, or have a second weapon. You know what I mean?
Yes, he really put all of his eggs in one crossbow.
Yeah. Do you think he even had extra arrows, or he's like the one should do it?
I honestly think it's the one arrow. I haven't heard from Jogamesh in a while. I wonder if this is what he's doing for a living. He was able to convince someone that he's a master assassin, but he shows up with one arrow.
Yeah. If you don't, I don't think we've ever talked about him before on the podcast. But Walden
Jogamesh the liar.
Yeah, Walden went to college with this guy who was a wild pathological liar, and we think this might be where he's at now. Where he's like, I'm an assassin.
Yeah, and just like, except with him, I picture him not even having a crossbow. He just had was holding the arrow inside of the box. It was all like, ah! And he stabbed her and then runs off because he's like, oh, it didn't work.
We know that
why didn't it work? Obi-Wan, help me.
We know that if it was Joe, he would have shot himself on accident. Because that's just how he is.
He would have. He would have forgotten how doorbells work, and he goes to headbutts it, but the box gets in the way, and the crossbow fires straight into his stomach, and he's like, "Ah!" And he runs off.
I don't know.
She answers the door, and she's like, "Hello? Why is there blood here?"
I don't know if I would be a good or a bad assassin, in that I would just show up to the house with a crossbow and a gun and a knife and a sword and an axe and another gun and a rocket launcher, and just I don't know, man. Rasputin rules. Just be ready to take it until it's done.
I would show up completely naked and be like, I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, and a gun to shoot you with.
Or he could have just done the Sarah Connor thing where he knocks on the door and he's like,
Sarah Connor?
Yeah.
Yes? Bam!
Yeah, is your name Sarah Connor? Bam, bam, bam. That seems to be pretty effective, right?
Turns his finger into a knife.
Well, you can't do that. Speaking of turning your finger,
that might have been his backup plan, and was like, shit, that was a movie.
Well, speaking of, and this was so amazing. Speaking of turning your finger into a knife,
yes.
A youth pastor. Did you hear about the youth pastor?
Oh, which one?
There's only one youth pastor story.
Nope, I have not.
Oh my God! As an Easter lesson, a youth pastor went to a gathering of young people, some kind of student thing, and he told the students to, quote, spit on him, slap him, or cut him with this knife, just like what happened to Jesus.
Why? Is he trying to Jesus himself?
And this was in
Actually, oh no, that does make oh God, that's so weird that makes sense to me. But okay, but it's creepy that he's asking kids to do it. That's kind of fucked up.
It was at the Impact City Church in
save your S&M for adults, please.
That was my first thought too. Pataskala, Ohio, and they filmed it, dude. If you haven't watched the video, you check it out.
Kids spitting on him and cutting him.
They're spitting him, and they're so. All right, he shows up. He tells them this. The kids line up, and they're immediately just like spitting in his face, like we would all do to a youth minister if they told us it was okay, right?
Yes.
And then they're like slapping the shit out of him, and some people were like, "No, don't do it." And then you hear other voices go, "Oh, I'm gonna do it." So they're smacking the shit out of him, right? And then he pulls off his shirt to reveal his weird doughy upper body.
I was about to say that's where it becomes like super fucking creepy.
Right?
I mean, but before it was already creepy, but now it's super fucking creepy, just like a whole new level of creep.
Yeah, and then he's got like a steak knife, and he's like,
these are still like children that he's surrounded by, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, kids, I want you to spit on me, then scream into my butt real loud."
Yeah, exactly. And so then he pulls out like a steak knife, and he's like, cut me in the back. And
okay, that's come on.
And a bunch of the kids went like, "Oh my god!" And of course, because when we were growing up, in every group there was that one kid. You remember ours was a kid named Roy, who like everyone would be like, "Oh,
Roy's our boy."
Well, it's like you don't want to call him a psychopath, but you like him. But we all have like these moral.
You don't want to call him a psychopath, but if you handed him a knife and said, "Cut me," he would cut you.
He would do it. He would fucking do it. Yeah. Exactly. Like we all had moral boundaries that we would have to pass, and then we would be changed forever because we passed them.
Yeah, it would be like it was like the time I was drinking with Manson, and we were talking about the idea of
not the real Charles Manson, a weird little creepy kid we called Manson.
Yeah, he called himself that, so I respected him by calling him that too.
He self-applied that nickname. We did not call him Manson.
Yeah, and we were talking about like burning scars into ourselves, just sort of as a thing. And then he says, "I'll do it." And I'm like, "No, don't actually do it." And he's like, "I'll do it." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I'm like, "No, let's not do it. I'm not actually down for that. This is just drunk talk." And then he burned like a thing into himself, and I'm like, "Cool. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I just told you I wouldn't."
Yeah. So yeah, there's always like, Jesus. Yeah. So yeah, it would have changed us emotionally if somebody took their shirt off and was like, "Stab me, stick me now." You know what I mean? It would be it'd be one of those just like like we're crying as we do it, you know. But not the little Manson kid in the video. There's a kid that was like, "Yeah," immediately takes a knife and just like he slashes the guy. He slashes him across the back. I was a little bit upset because I go, "Man, no, you should have put it in. Don't slash, stab."
Damn.
And it was being live streamed on Facebook.
Crikey.
So there's all the parents.
I haven't heard
Go ahead.
anything about this. That's crazy.
All the
but the parents were watching?
Oh yeah, also all the parents are just like, I wonder
when did Jesus like take his shirt off and say, "Yeah, Pharisees, go ahead and cut me. Ooh, cut me with this steak knife." I bought it off the Jesus Home Shopping Network.
I don't think Jesus was into S&M.
Oh, Harold put it in me.
If you don't remember, there's a whole scene in the Bible where Jesus is like talking to God, and he's like, "Hey man, do I have to do this? Because it seems like it's gonna suck." You know, he wasn't like, "Why don't you come at me, bro? Why don't you stick me with this steak knife I found?" So the parents are watching.
I want to feel your spit all over my body.
And they're all like, "I wonder what Cindy's doing. She's on Facebook Live." And then it's just like, "I'm gonna cut me." And the parents were just like driving straight to like save their kids.
I would be too. People are like, "Oh my god, why did I give my kids to a youth pastor? I knew this was a bad idea."
I don't know why this bothered me more than the actual S&M thing that the pastor had going on. But he made an apology, but it really doesn't seem like a appropriate apology. It's a lot of like, "What I did was inappropriate.
I did for Jesus.
Was inappropriate, and I'm sorry." You know, and I'm like, this is beyond the realm of inappropriate. You know?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even like in church. He showed up to like a youth hangout.
Oh, so just like, "Hey kids, are y'all having fun?"
Yeah.
"How would you like to put something in me?"
Yeah,
kids. I'm just gonna take off my shirt and just slide it right on in.
Yeah, I'm glad they ended it when they did, because I feel like the next step was like he takes off the fucking pants and he's like, "Now I want you to penetrate me with this carrot like they did to Jesus." And they're like, "No, I don't remember any of that ever happening."
One kid's like, "Okay."
Yeah, one kid's like, "I'll fuck you. I don't need no goddamn carrot for that." Like, you know, like, because there's always one kid that'll step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That poor kid.
this guy's creepy. I think that not only should he have been kicked out of the church, but I think charges should have been brought against him for weird, reckless, whatever law it is. I don't know. There should be a law called being freaking weird around kids.
I think reckless endangerment of minors might apply because he handed a kid a knife.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Just there should be a law that like, well, what did you get in trouble for? Being freaking weird around kids, and that's what it's called. The word "freaking" is in the middle.
There must be like legal precedents to legally define freaking weird.
Let's legally define freaking weird around kids, and let's fucking keep these people. Because that dude's gonna like. He's gonna have some inappropriate relationships. You look at his face when he's giving the apology, and it also doesn't. He's got that kind of dumb face, like he doesn't quite understand why he's in trouble. But the church told him he has to make this apology.
Yeah, no shit. He's like a dog that just had his face rubbed in urine, and he's like, "What did I do?
Yeah,
I don't get it."
Yeah, and I rub my face in it.
Oh God, he would enjoy that.
Yeah. Apologize. Fucking weirdo, man.
That was a great episode of South Park. I caught the exact cadence of how you said that.
But yeah, like if
apologize, yeah.
Honestly, if I was in church, and like the youth pastor was like, "All right, who wants to stab me with this knife?" I'd get in there. I don't like church. I did not choose to be there. I'd cut a youth pastor, or at the very least, I'd fucking spit on him real hard.
I don't know. Like, he seems like he's enjoying that a bit too much. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it would be fun to try to, at least when you hit him in the face, try to see if you can be the one that knocked him out.
Yeah, okay, if we're throwing rocks at his face, then I would get in on that.
Yeah, or just go...
That seems like more my steam.
Yeah, you just take it further than he wants you to. Just like always, like, anybody want to spit on me? And then you just hit him in the head with a rock. Ah! What the hell? Hey, they threw stones.
Yeah, they tried to stone Mary Magdalene, and I'm without sin, so you're not without sin. How dare you judge me? Judge not lest you be judged.
How weird would it be if you just cut his ear off?
Who did that?
You don't remember Peter cut a dude's ear off that was trying to take Jesus away?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I have a better idea. Let's hang him upside down by his feet.
No, I don't actually want to crucify him. I just want to cut it. I just want to cut his ear off, so because I think that would be funny.
I thought that you were doing a God. What's that guy's name with the face tattoo reference?
Guy with the face tattoo? No idea.
Mike Tyson. Doing a Mike Tyson
No,
reference,
I'm not
right?
biting his. I'm doing a Jesus reference, man.
In which case, I'd be like, well, I'm going to do an Ozzy Osbourne reference and bite his head off like a bat.
Yeah. All right.
Just unhinge my jaw as a child.
Speaking of unhinged, let's go to the Dear Abbeys.
Oh my God, yes. These are always the best part. I feel like we just got through with the Dear Abby, don't you? Like I feel energized after the youth pastor event.
That should have been Dear Abby. My youth pastor is super into S&M and constantly asks the children to take their pants off and hit him. What should I do?
She'd be like, "Oh God, call the police."
Yeah, it would just say like, "Police, right now. Here's the number." So this one comes from Dear Amy, and it says, "Baby shower brings out the showerzillas."
Okay, that sounds good. Question mark?
No, it's not.
Showerzilla makes me think they show up with lots of presents, and they're all happy and bouncing, and they're like, "Oh, you got a baby? Here's some diapers."
Dear Amy, I was asked, along with 4 other women, to help plan my friend Kath's baby shower. Okay, I'm gonna interject right there. I already don't like Kath. KATH'. I assume her name was Kathy, but she's cool, so she's like, just call me Kath.
Yeah, you're Kathy now.
So yeah, you want to plan Kathy's baby shower, right?
I'm gonna call her Catholomew.
I'm a cathologist. I study Kathy's.
This one's weird. She wants to be called Kathafika.
When we first met up to discuss the baby shower, we talked about the normal, usual things like the theme, food, games, things like that. Kath and her mother have turned what is supposed to be...
That sounded like you just said catheter.
Catheter.
Kath and her mother.
And well, this lady is about as annoying as a catheter. Yeah. Kath and her mother have turned what is supposed to be a simple, intimate event into a full-blown... they call it a catastrophe. I think they should have called it a catastrophe.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's a catastrophe. A catastrophe of cats.
Yes.
As the planning progressed, the guest list grew to over 50. Some invitees even live in other states. There are centerpieces, favors for more than 50 people, music, catered food, and custom-made invitations and expensive decorations that can't be found in a party store but must be handcrafted. Kathy's mother has made weekly contact with me and the other ladies through group messaging, saying things like, Kath wants this, Kath wants that, Kath doesn't want this, Kath does not want that. She also asked, have the decorations, the favors and centerpieces, the cake, the food, the beverages, the games, the prizes, etc. been made or purchased yet?
I don't know.
The expense of all this has been passed along to everyone involved in the planning. By the way, remember, there are like 4 people. Except for the mother-to-be and her mother, who are the ones who want this extravagant affair. So basically, Kath and her mom aren't paying for any of it. Their baby shower. On top of all that, the baby shower registry...
the baby shower is what's done for them, right? So I can agree with them not having to pay.
On top of all that, the baby shower registry, and this made me kind of mad, includes personal gifts for the mother-to-be that have nothing to do with the baby.
That's just her being greedy, though.
Kath wants diamonds, and Kath wants the Jaguar. I added that. Of course, Kath's mother will ultimately take credit for the baby shower that she had very little to do with. Now, I think it's ridiculous to have such a huge, expensive baby shower, and I'm not sure how I should tell my friend about the burden this has become. Feeling stressed.
I like that you keep turning Kath into a mean girl, like a whatever. Okay.
Well, because I come from the thought that bridal showers, baby showers, stuff like that, they're intended to help you get started in life, but you don't get to ask for. I mean, you can throw out some generalized suggestions like, hey guys, sure would be nice to have some clothes for the baby. It's a cold winter. Like, stuff like that, but like you don't get to be like, the baby wants an Xbox, okay? Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's a privilege, not a right.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't get to plan your baby shower, because that's not what it's for.
Maybe they're just giving out one too many suggestions on this, and they should slow it down a notch.
It sounds like it. 50 fucking guests, centerpieces, party favors, catered food. What the fuck?
Oh, is she like a young mother? It could also be her sweet 16 birthday.
I don't know, man, because I'd be like, listen, if we do this baby shower this way, you ain't getting shit from me for the next 20 years. This is birthday, Christmas, fucking Hanukkah, Easter, Ramadan, everything. Fuck you. No, it just seems a bit much. It just seems a bit much that, it seems very entitled, very shitty.
Are they in an affluent neighborhood where this is affordable?
It doesn't sound like it. The person's like, hey, this is kind of expensive.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
so the problem is that they're just being kind of too demandy about the whole thing. They need to slow their roll.
Last time you had a birthday, did you start messaging people going, hey guys, this is Patrick. Just want to know, have the gifts and stuff been purchased yet?
I usually don't even bring up my birthday anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause at this point, if people remember it, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
You have a fucking sense of decorum. As adults, most of us learned that we're not owed anything. Birthday, any of that shit. Like, if it happens and someone loves you enough to, give you some stuff, and they're like, great. But if it doesn't happen, I don't know, man. I'm not the kind of adult that's like, no one got me anything for my birthday. I'm like, well...
It's cool. Like, I'll hang out with my friends later at some point, right?
Yeah.
And we'll all have fun then. It doesn't have to be at certain days of the year.
I'm like, what about all the stuff people already got me? Like...
That too.
Like the gift
I'll go play with stuff that I had from past birthdays.
Because one time, and I don't know if I'd call this a birthday gift, but a gift in general. One time, someone taught me to read. That's a gift that's still paying dividends, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many things people have given me over the years. It's just like, can you really be mad that you didn't get a thing on a day once a year? Like, you know.
But you're right. Reading is the gift that keeps on giving. So maybe for your birthday, kick back and read. You weren't taught to read for your birthday, but you were taught to read. So just let that be your birthday present. Your gift to yourself.
Listen, if you want to get Pete something for his birthday shower, He would really enjoy some expensive bucks. Okay.
If anyone wants to get me anything for my birthday, I need a fucking shiny Baneri because this thing is impossible to get.
Pat's been obsessed with Pokemon Go, and he can't get the Pokemon he wants. And what I like about the Pokemon is I feel like no one's gonna know what the fuck you're talking about by the name, and so it's just like you're just making up stuff. You're like,
Yeah, it's just word salad, or it's letter salad at this point. It's not even word salad.
Like, I
'cause
can't
it's
get
just like all mixed together.
The goddamn gobbledygook keeps
The Amphalumps and Woozles.
Yeah, and I want a purple flidget. Everyone's like, fucking, is Pat having a goddamn stroke right now?
Anyway, but most people know what Pokemon are and that you catch them. And a shiny Pokemon is just like a differently colored Pokemon that appears like about 1 in 450 in this game Pokemon Go, which most people are familiar with. You walk around with your phone.
Speaking of Pokemon,
I've been walking my feet off. Literally, they are just like my feet are not well right now because I've been walking way too much this past week. Going crazy looking for a pink bunny.
Speaking of Pokemon and
like
walking your feet off, apparently militias are rolling up to the border to detain immigrants.
Go take a what?
Militias armed.
Is this actually happening in America? Like
Yes.
our fucking deplorables are going out there to fuck with people?
Armed bands of people not associated with the United States government are rolling up to the border to detain immigrants.
That's what happens whenever the person who's in charge of the country gets to keep saying such hateful fucking rhetoric, and that's another reason we shouldn't wait till 2020 to oust the bastard. Because he is making things much worse for everyone. Now he's encouraging people, giving the deplorables permission to act deplorable, like going out and fucking with people.
Things like, gotta catch 'em all, immigrants.
That's my favorite part about like driving while playing Pokemon Go is that I'm trying to I'm both the hunter and the hunted as the police are trying to catch me on my phone while I'm trying to catch Pokemon. Gotta catch him all.
I was taking a drink and I shot Gatorade out my nose. Because I love that idea of just the cops going, gotta catch 'em all, criminals. And then, like, they just start listing off all your crimes, you know, like they list off the Pokemon.
And I was speeding! Unpaid parking tickets. Like in Liar Liar, whatever he's going through all the things he did.
Yeah, I imagine if you got pulled over, you do the whole Liar Liar thing and you would end it with, oh, well, trying to catch a shiny shuckle on my phone.
48 hours for you to catch him, folks. If you're listening to this Saturday morning, you have till Sunday night. Shiny Shuckle is out. If you don't know what that is, well, I mean, we only have one listener, Wesley Bowen, and he will certainly not know what that is. Wesley, go get the Shiny Shuckle and then trade it to me.
Well, to make you feel better, after 20 years with biological father, what? Oh, sorry. Reunion after 20 years with biological father threatens to rip woman's family apart.
Cool.
Right? I love families getting ripped apart. It's like my favorite thing.
It's like a hobby.
This comes from Anonymous in the West, so I'm going to give it my best, like, Western accent. Hold on. John Wayne. I am... What? What? Go ahead.
What you gotta do is just let all the syllables lean on each other.
Kind of, but that's more of a creepy. All right, hang on. I am 28 and recently found my biological father through Facebook. After more than 20 years of not knowing if he was alive. Although I am happy that I found him, I'm scared to let my family, my mom, my stepdad, and my sisters know I have reconnected with him.
Pilgrim.
When I asked my dad years ago, I even had a pic of him. My stepdad felt betrayed and upset that I was even curious. I had to rip up the picture because I felt so guilty that my stepdad was hurt. Now, I know my stepdad, Pilgrim, will manipulate the situation. That's just how he is. And con my sisters and my mom into not talking to me. God damn, this is all fucked up, right?
I was about to say, as far as the stepdad goes, fuck him. If he doesn't want you to learn the truth, fuck him. Like, he's being an asshole. Don't worry about him then.
I don't know where stepdads began, like, forgetting that they were stepdads and thinking that they were real dads. I mean, I'm sorry, stepdads, your secondhand dad you don't count. You're just a mom warmer, like. Yeah, there's stepdads out
I
there
mean,
that really step up and step in and raise kids, but also you're still stepdad. You didn't
I mean,
provide the magic life juice.
and anyway, the wind blows. Like, if they are really your kid, you should want. I was about to say what's best for them, but then it's like, well, what is best for them? How do you decide that? Anyway, whatever.
No, at this
Your
point,
kid just wants to. Your kid just wants to know who their bio dad is. Let him meet him. What's wrong with that? It's not going to take away the years you've had with your kid.
also this person is 28.
You're right. That's that too.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, your kid's 20 fucking 8. Stop being an asshole.
My favorite part was where she says, "I know my stepdad will manipulate the situation. That's how he is, and con my sisters and my mom into not speaking to me again."
Well, here's what you got to do is just go ahead and be completely open and honest with your sisters and your mom. Tell them from the get-go, it's like, look, I'm trying to find bio dad. That's what I'm doing. There's nothing malicious about it. I'm not trying to boot anyone out of my life. I'm trying to include more people in my life. If you don't want to talk to them, you don't have to, but this is what I'm doing. Yeah, like that's the long and short of it. And yeah,
I like.
if stepdad decides to say that anything else is happening, fuck him. He's just being an asshole.
I just like that you call him Bio Dad because in my head I'm thinking of like the Bionic Man. So I'm just imagining him going like shana na 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 da 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 da.
That's interesting, because when I think of Bio, I think of Bio Brawly from Dragon Ball Z. So I'm just picturing like the worst movie villain ever. And then he steps in water and turns to stone.
Your thoughts are like those of Michelangelo to the people of his time. When people are like, "Ha! When I hear this word, I think of my grandmother's cooking." And then Michelangelo's just like saying some shit that they don't even know what it is. He's like, "Huh, when I think of that, I think of a helicopter with 4 rotors that's able to achieve lift off of the ground into the stratosphere." And people are like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, that's how I feel whenever you just go into some Dragon Ball Z.
That's fine. I don't know what the Bionic Man is, so tit for tat.
I don't know. You can use context clues on that one. He was
Right.
he was a bionic. He was like a bionic superhero from the '60s.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I could figure that much.
Anyway, point being, so this dude apparently, I assume this is not the first. Like, this sounds like you got a creepy stepdad. Your stepdad sounds like Kathy.
Oh my God, that's it. His stepdad is Kathy, and she's like, I want everything for my baby shower except for my 28-year-old to not know who his dad is. Yeah.
That's what I want most for my shower. Is I want my adopted children to not know their biological parents. If you could get me that gift, that would be great.
And okay, Becky, what I really need for you to do is to pay for that. All right?
I think that
How do I pay for that? I don't know, Becky. That's your problem.
I don't think that. I think that this stepdad is gonna murder you guys eventually. I think the next Dear Abby was like, "Dear Abby, I'm 29 years old." Sorry, I don't mean to use that voice. This is the John Wayne. "Dear Abby, I'm 29 years old and my stepdad has locked me in a basement." he keeps saying it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. I think that he's really damaging our relationship. What should I do?
I need like a Western Kathy female for the dad, though, right? So like, it puts the lotion on the skin and puts it in the basket, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Sugar Cube?
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Pilgrim.
Have you seen that John Wayne video that surfaces every a couple of years where he's on a boat and they're interviewing him and he's just like being super racist and stuff?
No.
I'll try to send you a link after the show. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. It's really interesting. It's just like the actor playing like John Wayne, just like, and another thing, I don't think that the black people should have rights. And you're like, oh damn, oh, this is all right.
Well, that was probably pretty progressive for his time, question mark? I mean, he didn't. It's progressive because he didn't call them the N-word. So
Well,
like, after he said it, his friends were all like, "You're too nice to them."
Well, he does use the word Negro a couple of times, so that's not great.
Oh.
Yeah, just watch it. I'll send you the video later.
This is an example of someone who's not progressive for his time, then.
John Wayne would have been progressive for like the 1800s, maybe.
Ah, right. Oh, because he still refers to them as people, so that is very progressive.
Right? Yeah, that's people.
They are
That's
people.
progressive.
They are people, but they don't deserve rights. Well, that's gonna get you hung if you start saying that. Okay then.
All right, you ready to get into the Mueller report?
Oh yes,
There's
yes.
there's
So
not a
our
lot.
big
There's not a lot to get into.
our big news story for the day. There's a handful of stuff. My favorite bit, I already told you my favorite bit earlier. My second favorite bit is that whenever the Mueller investigation first began, Trump was all like, "Oh no, that's the end of my presidency. I'm fucked."
Yeah, which was fucking awesome because
So all the people that were all like, "You libtards are stupid. You're always saying that this is the end of his presidency and that he's fucked. You're so only stupid people will say that." And then you show them Trump saying it.
well, it did make me feel better because I was just like, so it things do get past his fucking what do you call it? Like just
Thick fucking
invincible,
skull,
yeah, invincible
hairpiece.
cloak of stupidity, and he does okay. That at least that.
Sometimes he feels human emotions.
Well, because like his, I didn't think he felt fear because I thought you had to have a basic level of intelligence to even feel fear.
I mean, remember the time that he thought someone was attacking him and he like shit himself and ran behind Secret Service?
Yeah, but short of doing that, like I just thought he would nuh-uh forever, you know? Like he's just in court and they're like, this is my court, this is my Trump court fantasy where the judge is like, these are crimes of a severe and particularly heinous nature. Mr. Trump, we are going to sentence you to the special space prison without the possibility of parole. And then, of course, Trump would be like, no, you're going to space prison. Nah, not me. Like, and that would just somehow protect him.
So, if anyone's not aware, on Thursday, a redacted version of the Mueller report came out, and it's pretty fucking bad for Trump because it
Yeah.
had him on 12 different accounts of obstruction. But Mueller said, it's not within my power to indict him. However, I believe Congress should enact justice
Right.
for his grotesque abuse of power. So that's why Barr was spending 3 weeks trying to set the narrative that see, he's completely innocent and there's no collusion, so we should all just like turn away. I'm a frog. I'm gonna eat a fly.
And
that's why
I'm gonna put this report up my butt now. Like he spent 3 weeks just going, they're still gonna get I can't get all the copies in there. What am I gonna do? Just as he just shoves more and more copies of the Mueller report up his ass so that no one ever sees
digital.
it.
Quickly put the whole internet up my ass.
Come on, still not working. There's still more internet out there. Come on, we gotta get it.
Yeah.
That's why he's so bloated. He's got so many reports shoved in his rectum.
Yep, just like, Trump's tax returns aren't even out yet, so he needs to make room for that.
I think eventually.
Oh no, I'm gonna eat a high fiber diet this week. I'm gonna swell some room up.
I think eventually he's gonna have to make room to shove Trump up his ass, which is gonna be weird because he's already up Trump's ass. So it's gonna be like an Ouroboros of fucking people up each other's asses.
Or a Bora anus. or a Bora anus.
Come on, Mr. Trump, get up in there.
Now get up in yours.
They just disappear because they've created a paradox.
Yes, awesome.
An ass paradox.
So let's see. The thing is that if there's not enough public outcry, then they won't impeach him because the Democrats only strategically move towards what will get them elected. So
Right.
that's their shortfall. Now, the Republicans are just a bunch of fucking murderous criminals. The Democrats are a bunch of assholes who can't seem to see past the next election cycle.
Right.
So while neither one's bad, one's a mountain and the other's a molehill. So we need to vote for the people who are at least not trying to actively fucking stick children in cages until they die, as who already have.
I still look at the Republican Party, and in my head, I just hear that song like "We need a hero," like somebody to break ranks that's got a strong enough, like kind of like John McCain was able to do, like a maverick, somebody that's just like he's gotta be strong and he's gotta be first and he's gotta be from the GOP. Like somebody to just take the fucking reins and break and then be like, fuck this guy.
The problem is that there's such a strong purity test within the party
Right.
that if anyone does that too hard, then they just become a Democrat. Just like anyone on Fox News that has a conscience quickly gets fired and replaced by another Lumpy or another.
Well, anybody that like
Carl Tucker.
Tucker Carlson. You mean anybody on Fox News that allows their conscience to slip and go off the script? Yeah,
Yeah, like Ann Coulter was fired from Fox News, and she is a monster, but she's not monstrous enough. Just like that one lady who was fired from the being in charge of immigration because her baby cages wasn't monstrous enough. So Trump wants to put fucking Frankenstein in charge or whatever the asshole's name is.
I don't know what his name is. You're gonna have to tell me.
Frank. I was about to say Frank Miller, something Miller.
What's he in charge of?
Immigration.
I don't know who that is.
Jesus, I'd have to go back to my
It's
notes.
alright,
It's
it's
the
alright.
tall, pasty, creepy guy who's in charge of all of Trump's worst immigration policies. But
Oh,
anyway.
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, Stephen Miller. I said it was something Miller.
Oh, your analogy was off. He's not a Frankenstein. He's an Igor.
You think so?
Yeah,
Maybe.
He's short and ugly.
Yeah, true.
Yes, Master will take all the Mexicans
I was thinking
and create a Frankenstein, yes.
maybe that's his ultimate goal is to create a giant Mexestein to stomp around the country. And that's oh my god. But anyway, that's so. What we really need right now is for there to be enough public outcry to push for impeachment because we have tons of evidence to show that he needs to be impeached. But the Republicans already have their narrative set that they'll be able to fall back on and say that there's just not enough evidence. Even though there is, they managed to roll the evidence out slowly enough that they were able to frog in a pot America where you turn up a pot until the frog's boiled alive.
I disagree with that. I think it's gaining.
They have enough that they should be able to just hand wave it away and maybe censure him and let that be that.
No, the president has a 37% approval rating. 64% of people do not approve of this guy. They're subpoenaing Mueller to put him on the stand. It's like, especially because remember how many people watch fucking Canova cry and fucking whine about being a justice?
Yeah, it was like over 100 million.
So now what happens when you put fucking Mueller on the stand? You know what I mean? Like, and all, like, trust me, like, it's moving in that direction. Like we were talking about earlier, I still don't see impeachment working unless the fucking the Republican Party comes around and ditches him. But
I really, really, really do hope that this, like you're saying, they're gonna get Mueller to talk, and now. Like first, the notorious AOC came out, and she was the first that I know of to call for his impeachment.
Yeah,
that's a real congressperson.
I mean, like with Trump,
and now Elizabeth Warren has come out to call for his impeachment, and Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, has still not said the I word yet. Yeah. But we're waiting to see if she changes her mind because she said she's going to have a meeting about what to do on Monday.
Yeah.
So
the thing
this could be a very different America by the time we have our next podcast.
The thing about it is, like, impeachment proceedings take a long time, and like even then there's no guarantee of removal, you know.
Yeah, he probably won't be removed, but at least something would have happened to show officially that this guy is a criminal. It is on the record he's a criminal.
Love him.
Some people are saying that this could backfire because it might make him more popular, like it did with Clinton. But I disagree. I don't think that him surviving impeachment would make him more popular. I think it worked for Clinton because everyone saw that as a bunch of partisan bullshit like it actually was. But with Trump, they can see that he is clearly a criminal. He's losing his mind. He's swearing in public again.
They need to get, you always know he's in trouble when he starts swearing in public. They need to get people talking about the fact that, like, the Russians meddled with our elections, and he had some news of it. So
there's confirmation of that in the Mueller report. I
was telling you, best case scenario for him, he did not, and this is best case scenario, this is highly unlikely, that he nor none of his staff directly colluded with the Russians, but the Russians were working on a parallel track to get him elected, and he had knowledge of it. Although it's almost impossible that, like, I guess depending on what your definition of collude was, they definitely colluded. They definitely knew when the
they were working in tandem the whole time.
They knew when the information was going to come out that the Russians had stolen. They had given Russians info on specific battleground states that he won.
So they were aware of crimes that were going on in their favor, and they didn't tell law enforcement about it.
He's working with a foreign government to fucking get elected, and the foreign government interfered with our election, which is fucking huge, man.
Yeah, and it may have actually swayed the election in Trump's favor because it really did, because the RNC gave them documents showing them where the tightest battleground districts were, and so they were able to, with laser precision, target certain people in Wisconsin and Michigan and just flood them with propaganda on Facebook with goofy ass
and
Trump, lies and memes.
And the Trump retweeted Russian propaganda created by Russian agents.
He did several times.
So our fucking
so this
like,
was able to get just the right votes in just the right places, so that even though Hillary won by 3 fucking million votes, Trump was still able to snatch, victory from the jaws of defeat by Russia basically going over there, smacking the dog, taking its bone, and handing it to Trump.
On top of on top of all this, it has been confirmed that Julian Assange released information to sway the election because he thought that Hillary Clinton was a sociopath.
Yeah. So, if you remember the conspiracy theory about Seth Reich, they were trying to say that the DNC staffer Seth Reich, who passed away due to just things, shit happens, but he died and he is a DNC staffer.
I thought he
got, that's the entire story.
Did he die or did he get murdered? I thought someone shot him, but it wasn't like
No. He died. I don't know what he died from, but he wasn't murdered. It was just natural causes. But anyway, they tried to spin it as a conspiracy theory to say that Hillary had him assassinated, Hillary had him shot, and that's why you're thinking of him being shot, because they're able to plant that idea in your mind. But so Julian Assange was also helping to push the conspiracy theory that he was murdered, and the theory being that Seth Reich was a DNC staffer that leaked all the emails to WikiLeaks, and Assange knew, right? And everyone's all like, "Oh, Assange knows, and that's why he's not saying any different."
So basically, Julian
Assange,
but in
reality,
this piece of shit fucking swayed our election and then blamed it on a guy who died, also tarnishing that guy's legacy and making up a conspiracy theory about him being murdered. What a piece
Hillary.
Of shit, yeah.
But in reality, Assange knew who the real people who gave him the emails were. It was Russia.
Yeah.
It was the Russians, and they did hack the DNC emails. And so that's why, conspiracy theorists that support Trump didn't think that there was anything to the Russian things, because they were like, it's the Democrats lying and saying it was Russia when we know it was Seth Reich and Hillary had him murdered.
Yeah, man.
So that was their fantasy versus the reality, and he knew this shit all along, but now he has been arrested, and we're waiting to see what happens to Mr. Assange.
Yeah, man, I fucking hope he spends the rest of his life in fucking prison. I hope they send him to Russian prison.
That would be funny.
Like, extradite him to Russia. That's worse than anything you could do here. Just send him to Russia.
Yep.
Fuck him. Yeah, so, like, so the Mueller report is 400 pages right now. People are still reading it. I've read some interesting breakdowns, but most of the stuff, like, comes down to, like, Mueller, and rightly so, did not believe that he personally, inside the Constitution, has the power to prosecute the president, that it is the job of Congress, which I agree with. And so, I don't know, man.
There's another 10 major arrests coming down the pipelines that were just handed off to other places.
Right.
And it'll be at least those 10 plus whatever else, like the South District in New York happens to find while going after those. So,
yeah, there's a whole bunch of other investigations.
There's a shitload of other investigations that are ongoing.
That are still ongoing. Yeah. This is not it. This is not over. And also, he's about to go on the stand, which is interesting because we're so fucking politically divided that people read the same report and go, well, I don't know how you got that. This is what I got from that. So it'll be nice to have the guy that wrote the report go, nope, this is what I meant. Like, we're so...
Right. This isn't the Bible where people get to argue about what the person meant.
That's what's so irritating about all this is everything now has become like the Bible, where people are like, oh, this is what it means. It's like, no, there is one fucking...
It's my opinion, so my opinion interpretation is just as good as yours. Well, no, not if the guy that wrote it's still alive and could just tell us what he meant.
Yeah, there is one... I feel like there is one objective reality. Small pieces of it could be subjective, but objectively, we all live in the same fucking reality.
It's like in the story written by Ernest Hemingway, Hills Like White Elephants, where he's describing how the mountains crest and all that, and people have interpreted that by saying, see, and it's about the lady in the story, and she's pregnant, and she's thinking about her pregnancy by looking at these mountains. But Hemingway himself had said, it's like, people will read a lot into my stories. It just isn't there. But, if they want to bring that there, then they're welcome to it. You'll get a lot more out of it if you take a lot with you when you arrive.
Fuck.
So even he said that, like, no, that's just stuff people people are reading into this way too much. But I mean, if they want to, good on them.
I'm surprised Hemingway wasn't like, what? I was drunk. No.
That's probably what happened.
I got drunk and I heard a story about a mountain. That's all it is. Now somebody bring me a woman to hit and a cat to pet.
In that order.
Yeah, because that's like that was Hemingway's whole life. I hate Hemingway as an author. A little bit maybe aspire to Hemingway in life, maybe except without the woman hitting.
Yeah, but I mean, if I could like get really drunk and pet a cat, I would be so happy.
Yeah, if you just lived in like a tropical paradise, just typing, drinking, petting your cats, beating your lovers, like...
Mandingo, come to me. I need for you to spit on me and scream real loud at my asshole.
I said be a writer, not a youth pastor.
Oh, right.
Oh, man, if that's what he's doing for Easter, I don't even want to think about what's going to happen for Christmas.
Oh, no. He's going to simulate being born by having all the kids make a circle, and he'll pass through them like they're a vagina. Whee!
Hey kids, you want to see an immaculate conception? No! Get away! Run! Go!
You all simulate the birth of Jesus? You must lay me out in my swaddling clothes, but I must be naked like the Christ was. And you're the llama, the wonderful llama Billy.
Oh
I don't feel comfortable here.
I feel like this dude just have a Twitter account called like make any Bible story perverted. Oh, dude, you know what he should do? Remember that Bible story where Noah was drunk and naked and his kids saw his penis and then like God cursed his kids?
Because the kids wanted to fuck him in the story, actually.
Oh, were they? I thought they just walked on their dad and he just laid out drunk and he's like, hey, look at me, ain't got no pants on. And
the daughters were actually trying to bang him in the story.
Oh man, well that will probably be that dude's favorite Bible story. He should be kept with his children.
Yep.
Oh man, there's so many he could do. Fucking Abraham and Isaac.
Yep, the binding of Isaac. Okay, kids, I need for you to tie me down and stick me in the heart with a knife. But like maybe don't at the last minute, but only if God tells you not to. If you don't hear from God, then que sera, sera.
At the last minute, pull away. But if not, stab me in the heart. Yeah.
That's what God needs you to do.
You guys remember in that book where like those dudes in Sodom and Gomorrah wanted to bang the angels? Well, you're all my angels.
Remember whenever the guys want to bang the angels? Well, I have some wings for you here. Fit them on.
He takes his coat off and he's just wearing wings and nothing else. And you're like, get him away from the children.
Get him away from the children. Little Billy, run.
That could be a lucrative business if you started a biblically themed like S&M
kids?
Dungeon.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
if it's all like a consensual adults wearing like eyes wide shut masks, and and then he's all like, I need for it all to spit on me through the mask real hard.
Yeah, no, it would be considered. It would be like
that would be fine. It'd
be like
that might actually be even sexy, right? Even if he is like all pasty roly poly.
You basically roll in. It's like the Bunny Ranch in Nevada. You roll in and you choose your one from a list of biblical fantasies set up. And so then then they role play and all that stuff happens. Man, I think we could make a lot of money.
Oh, and then Noah's Ark, the Noah's Ark event is you take 2 cocks. Well, I mean, we need 2 by 2 with the animals, right? So you can either get fucked by 2 camels or get fucked by 2.
Oh God. If you're listening and you have any connections to the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, get them to send us some email. We've got a money-making plan for you. Well, can you imagine how many like all the Christian protesters just outside our brothel?
2 by 2.
Yeah, you have to come into the place 2 by 2. Yeah. So many. Oh my God, there's so many good Bible metaphors you can make about weird sex. I think that's about it. Do we have any other news?
I'd never once opened my my notes document, so let's see what I have.
I had a story. I won't go through the whole thing, just very briefly. It was fascinating to me. This woman got on the subway, and she was telling us on her Twitter feed, and was like had her headphones on doing her thing, and realized that this girl across from her was staring at her and holding out this like laminated thing. And
Right.
she took her earbuds out and she was like, "What?" And the girl was like, and she finally looked at the laminated thing and it said my seizure plan. And she's like, "Are you
Oh.
having a seizure?" And the girl's like, "I'm about to." And then like just started having a seizure. And the lady's, "Oh my god!" Um, so she's like reading the seizure plan and it's got like, give me this medication if it lasts this long, blah 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 blah, right? And so the girl
Right.
comes out of it and she's like, "Oh my god, you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I just, I have sometimes 3 or 4 seizures a day. If you don't mind, could you just sit with me until like you're stopped?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then the girl was like, "Ah!" And like back into another seizure. Um, and it was horrifying because the moment she brought up was that like the girl lives like this all the time. She's constantly having seizures and is completely vulnerable to anybody around her when she's having a seizure. She
Oof.
can tell when it's coming on, so she just like folds up her scarf and like sets it in such a way that she knows where she's gonna fall over, so her head falls on the scarf.
I would just go ahead and lay down, but that's
Um,
what I would do
and
instead of trusting that my head would land there. But still,
yeah, and so
I mean, at least
like,
she's planning for it.
but the problem is she's like all alone and she's going back and like so apparently bright noises are loud noises are a trigger, like bright fluorescent lights, and like she lives in New York City and I'm just like, and it's just she's got nobody with her that like, god damn, there's not like a person that can just we can all give money to that will be like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just gonna walk you to and from work.
Yeah, yeah.
Because luckily this lady like walked her all the way to her door and stuff like that and like stayed with her until she was okay, but most of the time she does this shit alone.
Hmm.
Yeah, like damn, dude.
So should we go help her?
Well, how are we gonna help her? I mean, like she's getting along like in her life. Like it's
Oh,
just
okay.
as a society, like what do you do?
Wish her the best.
I guess so, man. Like Jesus.
Speaking of people being wished the best, okay, so I really don't have too much here. Just like I have a couple specific instances of according to my notes, I have 10. It says 10 charges of obstruction. Trump is guilty of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But
like
I remember
he's
it being 12. But one of them, like the best, is that at one point he ordered McGahn to fire Mueller.
yeah.
So he did try to have his own Saturday Night Massacre, and he only failed because he's more inept than Nixon was, and he couldn't
And
actually get
fucking
people to do what he said. But he tried. He
yeah,
fucking tried
fucking
to do
Don
something that would have been inexcusably bad that even the GOP would have impeached him for. Just other people around him are stopping
Yeah.
him from crossing lines that even the GOP would have to say, "Okay, we gotta impeach you now."
Don McGahn was like, "How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?" And
So we should take that to mean that since he tried to do it, that
Yeah.
should be as bad as actually doing it.
yeah,
And he should get
because
fucking impeached.
if I
The
try to
GOP can still say, "Well, he didn't do it," but
I try to
that's
roll
what
up
I'm worried about.
if I try to roll up to your house dressed as a package delivery guy and I try to shoot you with a crossbow and I miss, I still go to jail for
Yeah.
attempted archery. I don't like go, "Well, you missed, so we'll let you go." Like just because you're inept doesn't mean you get off. Yeah,
Right.
and you were telling me too.
Well-
Apparently, he's very angry. That he, not that like, not about anything he should be angry, but he's angry because his staffers
So-
stopped him from committing crimes.
Right, so his tweets went from "see total and complete exoneration" to "this report is all bullshit" within 24 hours. Not because like he's still fuming over the report, but because he found out from the report that his staffers had been disobeying his orders and that he could be controlled by his staffers.
Yeah.
So basically, he's not relieved that he avoided jail because they stopped him from doing the worst possible things. He's pissed that they stopped him from doing the worst possible things because that meant that they were secretly controlling him, and he
Right.
is furious about that. And that's why his attitude has soured so much so quickly.
Like I said yesterday, it's like he's like the guys from The Producer, and all he needs to do is be like, "Look, I'll become president, and I get impeached, and then like we'll bet on me to get impeached, and then we'll make $1 million. Huh?
I mean,
we couldn't lose."
In real life, he planned to start Trump. He was already getting ready to start Trump TV when he lost, so he really was planning on this presidency being a flop. He didn't even expect to be the GOP frontrunner, but whenever he did, he was all like, "Oh, this would be so tremendous for Trump TV," and he was going to have his own conspiracy series or his own conspiracy theory TV channel, like probably run on Facebook, and that would just be his thing. But then he won, and so, because he would have made more money with a flop than a hit, he had the hit, now he's ruined.
Yeah.
And now all of his crimes are coming to the surface.
Disaster, no.
Total incomplete disaster.
Total incomplete springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Yeah, basically the exact same thing happened as happened in The Producers, and that's a bunch of people decided to cheer for Hitler, and so...
If in The Producers a bunch of immigrants died at the end.
Yeah, sad.
Yep. Well, I don't know, man. Fuck.
Let's hit up with the socials, Pete.
Oh, yeah. Help me out. I don't remember our social medias. I want to...
We are thosemuckrakers@gmail.com if you would like to email us, though we never check our emails.
We do!
We do,
and none of you have emailed us your problems, and I'm very disappointed in you.
One of us have checked, and no one has sent us a Dear Abby yet. You are... Son, I am disappointed.
Tell us your deepest, darkest secret problems. We're not going to use your name on the air. We're just going to, make fun of them.
Right, Wesley. Look, we're not going to tell anyone it's you. Just write to us. And... So we are at Those Muckrakers on Twitter, which I also stopped checking. And we are, if you want to see us on YouTube, we are at youtube.com/thriftingtonpost. We don't have Those Muckrakers on Twitter because that would just be kind of a pain to have two different YouTube accounts.
Wait, oh yeah. I was like, wait, we don't have? Yeah. Yeah, man. That's about it for right now. My coffee's kicking in, so I gotta go to the office and see a man about a horse.
You gotta go spit on your toilet and take off its shirt.
Oh, I gotta go be a youth pastor.